Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
It is morning, and you can tell because we have morning faces on, and our eyes are barely open. But we have coffee.
We're doing
good.
We have
sunshine.
And we woke up first thing in the morning in an RV. Like, that's pretty awesome.
It is very awesome. I'm just getting ready for work pretty quick, but we wanted to, like we said, film on the fly and just keep you guys updated. Today we're going to talk about what kind of RV do you need?
That's right, because you need one.
Yeah, if you're going to live full-time in an RV, you pretty much need to get one.
And getting an RV is exciting.
It's fantastic.
Oh my goodness. To be shopping for an RV is awesome.
So what's an RV? There are lots of different kinds of RVs, and we're not going to get into it really deeply because that would be a whole entire video all by itself.
And there's so much you can find online.
And you can Google it.
But some people do have the question, what is the difference between a motorhome and a motorhome class A, C, B, all those things?
Yeah. So we're going to go through it really quick. So let's talk about motorhomes first. So class A, when they use the word class, it's just a way of identifying things. It doesn't mean one is more important than the other.
That's right.
A class A is a motorhome. We'll show you a picture of that here.
Yep.
Bessie is a class A. She's an older class A. Then there's a class C.
Correct.
Go ahead and explain that real quick.
Which has a truck or a van front end. Next.
Yeah. And then we have what you would consider maybe a class B, which is a kind of like think of like a big panel van with a raised roof.
Yeah.
So you can live in there. And then you've got trailers. So some people call a bumper pull or a pull behind or a tow behind, that's a travel trailer.
Yeah.
So we'll show you what that looks like here, as opposed to a
fifth wheel, which is towed actually from in front of the axle of the tow vehicle. And it's an easier, more stable way of towing.
Yep. And then you have all kind of the other miscellaneous kinds of RVs. So you have a truck and camper, or you can have a converted minivan.
Yes.
Or you could have a Volkswagen camper van.
Yep.
A lot of people will convert a school bus into an RV.
True. That's called a schoolie.
A schoolie, yeah.
Yes.
Or other conversions like like a big bus, like a big diesel pusher kind of passenger bus that they will reconvert.
And that's a horse trailer.
Reconvert's not a word. Why did I say that?
I don't know. Because it's first thing in the morning and you're drinking coffee?
That's exactly why it's first thing in the morning. Yes, I love the idea of the converted horse trailer.
Yeah.
I have a good friend of mine who wants to do that, and and they're not even necessarily converted. You can buy them.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they can be high-end luxury.
They're not your grandpa's horse trailer, okay? These are gorgeous luxury trailers. Anyway, you can Google all that stuff. We'll show you some pictures and some videos of those things. That is not what this video is specifically about. Today we're going to talk about what you need for an RV and what might influence your choice on which RV to get. There's a really cool element to this week's video. We are not doing this alone.
No.
We brought in backup. So I don't know if you guys have ever met Larry and Alice. They have a YouTube channel called Downsizing Makes Sense, as in the penny. And we'll link that in the description below. Be sure to check out their video. They have some really cool things. And these guys have gone through some major challenges in their full-time RV living.
Yeah.
Anyway, we brought them in because we want them to share with you their experience about choosing an RV and why they chose the one that they did. So
yeah, and they've had other RVs previous to this too.
Yeah,
so they brought in the experience.
They brought in the experience. So thanks, Larry and Alice, for sharing with us, and let's let them introduce themselves to you right here.
Hi, I'm Alice.
And I'm Larry.
And we went full-time in our fifth wheel mid-February. So Larry, why a fifth wheel?
Well, we had a travel trailer for about 4 years, and then we had a Class B for about 3 years after that. I knew I did not want to use a travel trailer for full timing. I didn't like the way they drove and swayed, even with a good distribution system. And then the setup was a pain. Travel trailers mostly don't have auto leveling. So fifth wheels have the awesome auto leveling. You just push a button and you're ready to go. So that's kind of how we narrow down a fifth wheel. Versus a Class A, that's like a whole nother subject.
So fifth wheel for me was one, I wanted a lot of room with, big slides, and I know you can get that in a Class A too. But my thing was I saw some horror stories of people that had Class A's where the engine blew, and not only, they lose their home while that's being repaired. So I like the idea of the vehicle, the tow vehicle, and the home being separate. So if one happens to one, you still have the other, I guess is why.
The other thing is that, fifth wheels are just very spacious. I mean, you have opposing slides, so you have a lot of room inside. It's like a regular living room. And then you have these crazy tall ceilings, which is awesome. Yeah. It really gets you away from that claustrophobic feeling. I mean, especially with all this pandemic stuff that went on, we had to spend a lot of time in the RV, and it being very spacious really helped.
Yeah. So which fifth wheel? Grand Design. We picked Grand Design. I did a lot of research. They have great customer service. And I also liked the Solitude 310 GK, one, because it was the right size. It's 35 foot. And also it is extended stay. It's very solidly built.
All right, one thing that you're probably going to consider first is your budget.
Yeah.
People have to spend money on an RV. There are a couple of different options you can do here. A lot of people will want to buy a brand new RV. And part of the reason for that is you can finance it.
Yeah, you can. You can place the payments over a long period of time. And number two, you have warranty.
Yeah, that's a big deal as well. And another way you can go is to buy a used RV. And that's what we did. We actually ended up buying our RV just in the classifieds, Kijiji, Craigslist,
private
Facebook
sale.
Marketplace, private sale.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be selling their RV, a friend of yours maybe, or some people inherit their RV.
Yeah.
There's lots of different ways to get a used RV. It's a little trickier to finance that unless you go to your bank, but it's possible to do that. But when you're doing a used RV, you don't have that warranty option. So be very careful what you purchase and do your homework, do your research. And that means stay tuned for next week.
That's right. Next week, we're going to talk all about how to buy a used RV and all of the tips that we can push your way to give you the best way to succeed in buying your new RV, in buying your used excellent RV.
Exactly. So that's going to be a fun video. So definitely stay tuned for that one.
Yeah. Now don't forget, when you're buying your RV, you may not know what style you actually are. But remember, this is a tool to help you and take you to the places where you'll have the adventure. Okay? So don't get too bogged down on all of your list of must-haves.
So must-haves. My must-have was that the couch right here had to be directly opposite the TV viewing situation. Some of the fifth wheels we looked at, it was like catty corner where you had to like sit weird and like turn and angle. I have rheumatoid arthritis and it affects my neck, and I had to always be, if I can sit for 2 hours and watch a movie, I had to make sure my neck was in a good position for that. So that was a must-have for me.
My main must-have was windows, which is another reason why we picked this Solitude. I would walk into an RV and the side across from us, the kitchen side, had no windows. So there'd be windows on this side and that's it. And we have 14 windows in this rig, and I just needed, again, we don't want to feel like closed up in a cave, so I needed lots of windows. The last must-have is the dual air conditioner. We actually have the bedroom air conditioner on right now. It's like a Whisper Quiet or whatever it's called.
So it's ducted. It's ducted.
It's ducted. Fancy. It's ducted. And the other thing that means is we can turn off the air out here and make the bedroom nice and cold at night. So it's nice. One
of the other must-haves was that it had a decent-sized fridge. Some of the fifth wheels have like these little mini-type fridges. This is an 18 cubic foot RV fridge, and I really wanted that.
He's got lots of food in there. He eats all the time.
Thanks.
Like when Lisa and I started our journey to find out which RV we had, it was going to be a huge one. It was going to be a triple axle, honking big truck.
We needed it.
It was a monster. We had to have it. We had lots of stuff. We had lots of
Exactly.
people that we wanted to take with us.
We wanted to get a toy hauler, and that's basically a huge fifth wheel that has a garage in the back. So we needed that.
That's right. We wanted to have people with us all the time. So we started a YouTube channel so we could bring thousands of you with us.
Actually,
that was easier.
Or maybe it was so that we could make millions of dollars so that we could actually get the toy hauler.
With the helicopter. Yeah, you get
Exactly.
it. No, instead I got
Hey,
drone.
we're not mocking it. One
No.
day we would love to get a toy hauler, but at this point it wasn't in the budget. But like Kent said, don't have your make or break list so long that it stops you from just
Yeah.
jumping in and getting going on your life, because that's the whole thing. It's the tool to the adventure.
If you actually after 6 months or a year have to get a different rig, don't worry about it. There's a lot of people that had to do that or needed to do that, and there's some that have done that just naturally.
Yep.
Gone from one style to another just because that's how they wanted to do life.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Not at all. So it's okay to just jump in where you're at, what you have. That was one thing I was going to mention too. Use whatever rig you have. If you have a trailer,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and use that one if that's the best option for you. Now, speaking of that, Larry and Alice did have a trailer. They chose not. You know what? I'll let them tell their story.
Okay, what kind of rig would I want after this? Everyone, once they buy one rig, I guess they're always looking for the next one. Mine simply would be this. I want it smaller. I want to downsize. I want it tougher. I want it to have shocks underneath?
Suspension.
Suspension, so we can go off-road and go boondocking. And it doesn't need to be as fancy inside, and I want solar.
That's asking too much.
No, I deserve it.
My next rig, I really am looking forward to putting a big truck camper in the back of my 8-foot bed dually truck and taking off to Alaska for 6 months. That is my next rig that I want to do, which will probably be like a temporary thing.
Yes.
And we'll be back into the fifth wheel. But
Yeah, a truck camper will be temporary. I can't live full
I just
time.
didn't see dragging this beast all the way to Alaska for 6 months or something.
Yeah, that would be a bit much.
All right, so when you're picking your RV, you're going to have a list of make or breaks, okay?
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to relax on those, okay? When we had our list of make or breaks, we kept going through our budget, going through what was available, going through our make or breaks, and we kept going back to our make or breaks going, well, maybe I could live without that. What was interesting is we had a make or break list of what style of RV we had, and Class A was not one of them.
Not even on the radar. We wanted a truck and trailer.
That was obvious. And soon, all of a sudden, we realized we were saying goodbye or not even entertaining huge categories.
Well, I think what was happening is because we wanted the truck and trailer, our budget was so skinny that the trailer we wanted didn't have the features that we wanted, whereas the Class A motorhome did have the features. Some of those features, I'll just tell you what they were. One of them was a walk-around bed.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to make the bed and kind of scooch around. Even if it's skinny, I still wanted a walk-around bed. Another one was that sink. That was a big deal.
Yeah, we wanted a sink in the bathroom. Just what we wanted.
Yep, and some bathroom sinks, some trailers will separate their bathroom area into two sections. So you've got your toilet and shower area, and then across the hall you have your sink, or in your bedroom you have your sink. And we just didn't want that. So there's certain things that we wanted that could only be had in our budget in the Class A.
And the Class A came with a whole bunch of other stuff, like a generator and stuff like that. So it was good.
The generator, lots of windows, that's a big deal.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of lots of windows, Alice has the same thing. She wants lots of windows.
So
style of RV.
Your style of RV is going to depend on how many people are in your family.
Absolutely. It's going to maybe depend on what brand you love. Some people are total Airstream people, or they're completely Grand Design people.
Or Montana.
Yeah, so that might influence your decision. Now, another one would be?
Well, another one would be where you're going to go. If you're going to be boondocking 80% of the time, that's going to dictate the style of rig.
Yeah, exactly. Like things like a generator, or be able to off-road or whatever. Another thing is going to be your comfort of stress level. I know a lot of people do not like to have the stress of hauling a great big fifth wheel behind them.
Yeah, they call it the monster.
Yeah, so that's another factor to consider.
Which some people are totally good with. And then other people are like, this is an animal on my back that I just don't want like anymore.
Another thing that you definitely need to consider is how fast or slow you travel.
Yeah.
And Alice did a wonderful job explaining this, so I'm going to let her take it away, Alice.
Okay, what advice would we give to future full-timers? Well, in buying a rig, first of all, take your time, and the other one would be buy used. You know, see lots of rigs out there, walk through lots of rigs. If you have the time and the money, start off with a small travel trailer or maybe a small Class C or something like that. Kind of get the feel for the kind of camper that you want to be, so that when you pick your full-time rig, you have some experience. Now, and if you can't do that, maybe try something like RV Share and try a couple of different rigs out. Try some Class A's, see if you can go out there in a Class C, some Class B's. Try some different rigs before you get out there and make your purchase.
And my advice is find out what kind of camper you are. One, are you the type that just wants to stay at private RV parks? Are you going to be a 1,000 trails person and you're always on full hookups? And how fast are you going to move? We want to stay a couple weeks at a time. So a fifth wheel is fine for us, unhitching and hitching, because we don't move that often. If you're someone that wants to move every 2 or 3 days, I think a fifth wheel or a travel trailer would be a bit much to unhitch and hitch all the time. So you might want like an A, B, or C if you want to move a lot.
Right, absolutely.
And also watch lots of YouTube. Watch everyone else, see what they go through, what they like and they don't like. But of course, everyone's different, so you pick what's good for you. Anything last?
My last piece of advice is don't plan on going full-timing when a pandemic has hit.
We didn't plan.
Bad timing.
Yes. Don't do like us. That wasn't our fault.
So one thing I want to talk about really quick is floor plans.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is how functional is your indoor space. You're living in this thing, don't forget. This is
That's right.
full-time RV living. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. When the slides are in and you're parked overnight at Walmart on your way from A to B, can you access your kitchen?
Yeah. We thought that was one of the make or breaks. But another thing is, we live in a hallway. So when you're in the bathroom or the kitchen, in that zone there, if you want to go from one side to the other, there's always a movement that happens.
It's the bottleneck there.
If you had 4 people living in that space, that could be really bad.
Get out.
Yeah.
Mom's making dinner. Get out. Another thing people are concerned about is if they can access the bathroom when their slides are in.
Yeah.
Just if you're at a rest area and you're just stopping for a few minutes, you want to be able to get to your kitchen, your bathroom, and some people, their bedroom is important as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing might make a difference. What else for floor plan? Anything else that would be?
No, actually,
I know, outdoor kitchen. That was one
outdoor
that we
kitchen
thought
is
about.
one of the make or breaks to some people.
Yeah.
We have a friend who has an outdoor kitchen without having an outdoor kitchen.
Yeah.
He brings all of his
That's right.
outdoor kitchen stuff with him, and when he gets set up, he sets up his outdoor kitchen.
Yep, exactly. He just takes over the whole yard, which
And
is great.
his
It's
statement
space.
is, I can cook anything that you can cook in your RV outside of my RV
It's so awesome. It's
and do
great.
it better.
Everybody has their own style, their own way of setting up camp. So
Yeah.
we can talk about that in another video, actually, how to set up camp.
For sure.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. We just want to say thank you again to Larry and Alice
Thank
from
you, guys.
Downsizing Makes Sense for helping us out in this week's video and for sharing your experience. You guys are awesome. And we just want to give you one last piece of advice here.
Yeah.
Make sure you talk to other people and keep an open mind, because others are the ones that have the experience. Even if you have some RV experience, which Kent and I did not, but if you do, you only have your experience.
Yeah.
So how valuable is it to go and ask all your friends about RV living, especially full-timers?
Yeah, and don't forget, when you full-time, you're gonna change.
Yeah.
So your style, your preferences, your needs, they're going to adjust also.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's okay.
Yeah. And Kent, what's your closing advice?
Never say never.
Yeah. What does that mean?
It means
How does it apply?
It applies
I almost feel like coffee.
that don't ever say, I'll never be in a Class A,
That's right.
because a Class A might be in your future. Don't ever say, I could never boondock, when all of a sudden that's what you want to do because everybody else is. Or you're boondocked for your first time in quartzite and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, this is
You're
incredible.
like, I love this.
I love this. So never say never.
Or I'll never tow a fifth wheel or whatever it is. Never say never. Go out there and get the adventure. You guys, my name is Lisa.
My name is Kent, Living Light RV.
We're here grabbing life by the tail. We hope you guys are too. Take care. Have fun shopping for your RV. It's going to be so
an awesome
great.
time.
Leave in the comments below what your thoughts are on picking an RV. What is the most important thing to you? Take care, you guys. Have a great week.
So next week, we're going to be talking about how to buy a used RV and where to go to find a used RV in Canada, of course. And don't be afraid to get into the full-time RVing and then change. Most people that do this lifestyle for a long period of time don't stay in exactly the same class of RV for year after year after year. Okay, some do, but lots don't. So don't be afraid to get into your first rig. If you find the right deal and you're like, this would work for a while, do it. Especially if it's used and it's a good price and if it comes in the proper condition. No problem. Hey, you got the rest of your life.